Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to the Patriot Angle Podcast. Happy Saturday to everybody. Hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. I am. Got a lot to talk about on today's show, guys. A lot. I want to get into the story here coming out of what is this? Outnumbered with Kayleigh McEnany. Now even saying that even CNN knows that times are going very, very badly under the Biden administration. Also want to get into the Liberal View hosts that they're declaring, and they're actually going on board with this whole mask, hysteria. The CDC wants to extend this crap to the middle towards the end of next month in May. Also more out of the View. Oh, you're going to love this. I'm going to be touching on the View a lot. That Joe Bayer, one of the co-hosts there of the Liberal View, says that Trump thinks that he's the most honest man in the world, and they're making a complete mockery. Still they seem to have this Trump derangement syndrome, literally. More on that, folks, right after these quick words. Don't go anywhere.
Hulu has live TV? Hulu has live sports?
They do.
Hulu has live news?
That is correct. And Hulu also has
live talent show.
It also has over 75 live channels.
Woo!
Flip like cable, stream like Hulu. Time to have Hulu plus live TV.
We begin with President Biden's failing attempt to restore Americans' confidence in his leadership as the country faces a record-breaking surge at our southern border, rising crime rates, soaring gas prices, and historic inflation. And now critics warn that Biden's next crisis could be a recession. So as the president tries to convince Americans he's got this, moments like this one here in North Carolina yesterday, are just not helping.
God bless you all.
Yikes. That wasn't all. There were several other moments, but I have a compilation of moments I put together. Because there was one moment yesterday, a tall tale reminiscent of other ones that the president has told. Let's take a listen.
And if we don't
drive an 18-wheeler, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
yeah. That's
I
awesome.
got to. I've been on a lot of university campuses. Matter of fact, for 4 years, I was a full professor at the University of Pennsylvania. Hey, I think I'm kidding, man. Seems like yesterday, the first time I got arrested. Anyway.
full professor for 2 years, a driver of an 18-wheeler. He's been arrested. Did I ever tell you, Jimmy, I was a world champion sumo wrestler? Just wanted to get that out there.
Hey, I was
like one. I always wondered.
I was technically a champion horseback rider if you count the quarter my mom put in the horse outside the supermarket. This is crazy.
You know, horseback rider.
Yeah. Well, Emily's actually done a lot of things, I'll say.
I mean, but not as many as ride horses in their life.
Yeah, she actually rides real horses. But yeah, Joe Biden is like the Dos Equis most interesting man in the world. He's done everything on earth. Yeah. But it's kind of scary. And I feel like we're going to get to this point where it becomes expensive because the band has to play like 8 renditions of every song now because it takes so long to get off the stage. We're going to have to start paying the band overtime. Like what we saw yesterday was disturbing. And understand this. The left, if you remember, once watched Donald Trump walk gingerly down a ramp at West Point in the rain. And we're like, oh, he's got Alzheimer's. Joe Biden fist bumps a ghost. And they're like, no, nothing to see here. Nothing to worry about. And how much must this hurt Kamala Harris's feelings? That her approval rating is so low that this guy is literally shaking hands with invisible people, and we're still not talking 25th Amendment.
Speaking of which, let's read.
I'm telling you, I couldn't agree more with the with Fox's outnumbered. I mean, guys, the laughing, the jokes, we're beyond that, folks. I'm surprised, too, that the high courts here in America, Nancy Pelosi, the rest of Congress, is not invoking the 25th on Joe. You see in the video, just was this past Thursday in North Carolina, when he was in North Carolina, shaking hands with invisible people. Then he turns around and then he goes into, facing the American flag behind him and literally goes to talk like there's somebody in front of him. Guys, what the hell is going on with Joey? Joey's, he's a little confused. And outnumbering himself, so to speak. But remember, everybody, guys, remember when folks said that Donald Trump is showing early signs of dementia and he's not fit to become president. Yeah, we remember that, right? How come no one's really going into saying anything about Joey, right? Joey on the block, Biden. How come no one's going to say anything about him? The man is not fit for office. We see that. World leaders such as Putin, Kim Jong-un, right? President Xi of China, all these big-time world leaders, right? They don't take the man serious. At least when Donald Trump was in office, we had respect on the world stage. Folks, this president is a laughingstock. Now, I'm labeling this show, this is the outcome of a mail order administration, right? Or better yet, producer Eric, I like the better title we were going to go along with. This is the outcome of a mail order presidency. I think we'll go along with that podcast title. Does everybody agree? I agree. I think it has a good, catchy type of feel to it. Folks, this is the outcome. This is the outcome of what we have now in office. Apparently, Donald Trump wasn't good enough, so they had to vote this clown in. This puppet. This, I don't know what you would call this. I don't even think it is a president. It's folks, world leaders, they don't look like this. They do not look like this one bit. But according to the View, the liberal View, right? They're still bashing Trump, right? They're bashing him for a comment that he made at a rally. Remember that, folks? Check this out with the nut jobs of the radical View. Still have Trump derangement syndrome.
So Trump was on the road again this weekend to tell a rally crowd in North Carolina how he's the last honest man in D.C. Yeah, and I'm a natural redhead. Watch.
I've been investigated by the Democrats more than Billy the Kid, Jesse James, and Al Capone combined. And in all cases, I've been innocent. I've got to be the cleanest sheriff. I think I'm the most honest human being, perhaps, that God ever created. Perhaps.
Oh, leave God out of this, Donald. And back in the real world, evidence is piling up that he and his lackeys did, in fact, try to steal the election. Congresswoman Liz Cheney says the January 6th committee has evidence that crimes were committed. And CNN has texts of Donald Jr. sharing strategies with Chief of Staff Mark Meadows to keep his dad in office before election results were in, claiming, quote, "We have multiple paths we control, and we control them all." What more do they need to charge these people with a crime? Can some patriotic American please go to the Justice Department and wake up Merrick Garland?
Well, I think that's why prosecution is so important here, because there have been no consequences. And you hear Donald Trump right there saying, I've been investigated and no wrongdoing has been found. That's why I was so disappointed with the decision by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office not to prosecute. That's why I've been so disappointed with the Department of Justice not to do anything thus far. And I think Hillary Clinton has been correct about so many things, but she recently said he will run again, and I think he will because there haven't been any consequences.
Alyssa, will he run again?
He's absolutely running again, and more concerning than that is he is actually stacking state houses, secretaries of state offices, and members of the U.S. House of Representatives. So if he runs again and loses, he will have the levers of government in place to try to once again steal power. So we need to pay attention to what he's already done. I mean, Don Jr. laid out a coup attempt in a text message, and we're just kind of not doing anything about it. But more importantly is looking forward to what he is trying to do in 2024. He's absolutely running. Like, this is the time. Wake up, America, because our national nightmare is not over.
But we're not waking up. For what reason?
Well, yeah. Well, when you hear about these text messages, a part of me is like, of course these happened. We've been watching for so long, dating back.
Shut this garbage off. Thank you, producer Eric, for eliminating the trash. Flush it down the toilet. Matter of fact, flush everything down the toilet of what's going on. Folks, what is wrong with Donald Trump? What is wrong with Donald Trump? What is wrong with shows like The Liberal View and other shows that, Don Lemon and, all these radicalized talk shows? They all have stuff against Donald Trump. They were never like this, folks. Never. I remember times when people like, that host of View, Whoopi, Joy Behar, Sonny, all those folks on The View, there was times when they actually enjoyed speaking to Donald Trump. They were glued to him coming on the show. Oh, we're so glad that you're on the show, Donald. Coming out of Joy Behar. We're so glad, Donald. You have a new book coming out? They were kissing his ass. Now, all of a sudden, they hate him. But you understand where society's going, folks. When mainstream pinpoints crap, through the social media world, right? When they put a headline out there saying that Donald Trump is this, Donald Trump is that, don't trust Don Jr., don't trust Georgia's Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ted Cruz is radicalized. I mean, I'll go on, but I mean, this is some of the crap that that mainstream reports on. Radicalized news today in American journalism. That's what I've been saying for 3 years now on this show. That this crap has been going on over and over and over again. When will it end? Who the hell knows? But the liberal view, they love pinning people up. They love orchestrating this hate of demise. Literally. It needs to stop. Needs to stop. When will it stop? Who the hell knows? I hope it stops. I really do. I mean, frankly, I mean, you know, you get a little tired of dealing with this like idiocy. I mean, it's seriously, it's crap. I mean, who in their right mind? Seriously, let me ask you a question here. Okay? Who in their right mind actually tunes in to this garbage? This disgusting garbage. Who? I would like to know. Who, right? So, you know, we're talking about, you know, the aftermath of the Biden administration. You know, the man simply is confused by his own shadow. I mean, we were talking earlier in the show about him shaking hands with invisible people. I mean, there's people not even there. You have people such as The View agree on every little thing. Oh, Biden is so much better than Donald Trump. Oh, my God. For God's sakes, if Donald Trump comes out with another hate speech, another nasty comment, that's it. We're going to throw the book at him. But God forbid, guys, Joe Biden can get away with everything. Seriously. I mean, you know, you don't see what's going on here, folks. You don't, right? You don't see what's going on with this woke hysteria bullshit. And I labeled that very, very, very comfortably on my show when I had Pedro on my show last week, actually. Check this out. You know what I mean? Everything is woke. Everything is, you know, canceled. You know, I mean, you know, 1 minute, you know, you're allowed to say something on YouTube or social media. The next minute they're fact checking, you know, they're bringing out the people, you know, in Silicon Valley and the basements, I would like to, you know, call it, you know, with fact checking. So it's getting a little, you know, ridiculous if you ask me. And it needs to stop, Pedro. What are your thoughts on that, sir?
We're dealing with mindsets, ways of thinking, ways of behaviors. And these behaviors have been building through time. I mean, we can go back and look at it as the nation began to transform itself, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. And then all of a sudden, it really started going downhill, predominantly in the last 10 years, more so in the last probably 5. The wicked people will.
Yeah. Did you see the latest gossip on, speaking of COVID, did you, I don't know if you heard this, Nicole, or you tune him in on a daily basis if y'all have Sirius Satellite, but did you hear Howard Stern, this was like 2 days ago, ripping Aaron Rodgers? I plugged that into the podcast on Monday's show 2 days ago about the whole, you know, Howard Stern, Aaron Rodgers thing. And Howard Stern was like, they should kick him out of the fucking NFL and this and that. And he's a disgrace to the NFL. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I don't follow the NFL, but he's a piece of shit and this and that because he lied, said he was vaccinated when he really wasn't vaccinated. I mean, can you believe that shit, Nicole?
Michael Gardner, a host like no other, unfiltered, unscripted, uncensored, raw.
The fake news, big tech, and blue state liberals stole the election from President Trump. But here in Alabama, we're making sure that never happens. We have not and will not send absentee ballots to everyone and their brother. We banned corrupt curbside voting, and our results will always be audited. I'm Kay Ivey. The left is probably offended. so be it. As long as I'm governor, we're going to protect your vote.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. Welcome back. Guys, this show, I'm kind of mixing it up here for you, the listeners out there, giving you a little side pieces of previous shows I've had in the last week and a half. The last clip I plugged in from New Jersey's 420 VIPs, as well as New Jersey Musicians Wanted. Folks, you just heard me talk right briefly before I went to commercial break that this is the type of crap that we're dealing with in this society. Touching on the whole Aaron Rodgers thing, with, woke Hollywood celebrity elites agreeing with every woke agenda of American journalism, right? Mainstream, for that matter. They agree with everything. It's sick. It's disgusting. It's like, guys, I don't know. I don't know that if we can come back as a nation, to end all type of scenario, but I mean, when will this stop? When will the ridiculousness of nitpicking, we used to call it nitpicking back in the day. When you would not agree with something, so you had to nick. You had to place a little nick at somebody's assumption or somebody's viewpoints or opinion. Nitpicking. When are we going to stop nitpicking? Oh, he said this. She said that. He said this. She said that. Ba 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 ba. I mean, seriously, right? I mean, that's some of these people. They sound like little children. And when you have more people literally agreeing with every little thing, every little narrative, right? That the mainstream, this new corrupted politician of our government today, when every single narrative gets put out there in front of the general public, like these bystanders, these radicalized podcast hosts, right? These talk show hosts, they agree with everything. Hey, if it makes sense, I will agree with it. But half the shit that's coming out here on social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Fakebook, right? The nut jobs there in Silicon Valley there in San Fernando, California area, that, when they put this garbage out there, sadly it's selling because you have liberal nut jobs that will buy into this shit, folks. Literally. It needs to stop. Now, there was an article here that The View put out, all right? And mind you guys, I don't watch this crap. I don't. I'll watch little video clips of, seeing what the hell they're talking about next. Some ridiculousness of coming out of Whoopi Goldberg. Like, she's always talking about the stupidest nonsense of shit on her show. This is what now they're saying about masking. More mask hysteria. Oh, God, they got to kiss the CDC's ass. I'm all for it. Check this out.
The pandemic's not over. We're in the subvariant of a variant. Okay. That basically, if you get this, as long as you don't have an underlying condition, leukemia or asthma, if you get this subvariant, that you might get a cold. Almost everyone's asymptomatic. If you don't live in Shanghai, you walk right through it. In the past, when you have a cold, you didn't destroy your life, sit at home for a week, not go on planes or wear a mask. But in this environment, with people dying to hold on to the pandemic a little bit longer, it looks as though colleges in this area, people indoors in Philadelphia, and for people on trains, mass transit, and planes, for at least another couple of weeks, We're wearing masks.
Yeah, the CDC, it was supposed to end in, what, 2 or 3 days?
Yep.
And the CDC has said we're going to extend it for
Can't make our own decisions.
For 2 more
I had
weeks.
it on my calendar.
For 15 more days.
When you could fly without a mask.
Can we also add that it doesn't work, that the studies that show they aren't effective?
The CEOs of all the airlines said they have been begging with the CDC,
The
please
best-
let us not wear masks anymore.
They circulate new air in like 3 seconds inside airplanes. You're
Safest place
exactly
to go.
right. The CEOs have all said, please get rid of this. Yet, here it is extended for 15 days.
Some people are for it, though.
Oh, I think there's one. I think you might be referring to one. If you watch The View, one of the co-hosts there professed her desire, her love for the holy mask. Watch.
When it comes to mask mandates, they're there because people just aren't great people. And that's just the bottom line. Americans just aren't great to each other. We just aren't. And so when it comes to things like flying,
Yeah, I agree.
the
You
mask
need to have the
mandate is
mask.
supposed to be lifted April 18th. I don't want to get on a plane with super spreaders. I don't want to get on a plane with 214 other people that are going to be breathing on me with their COVID breath. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want it. I want the mask.
fair.
I think that we relied upon personal responsibility, and people were irresponsible, leading to the mandates, right? We want people to be better than they are. And that's just the bottom line. We cannot necessarily rely on people to protect their fellow man.
Here's what when we were listening to that soundbite, we were all saying if she wants to wear a mask, wear it. If you feel more comfortable with the mask, that's your
All day.
choice.
Sleep in it if you want.
But a few days ago, Fauci was saying that. Remember, he
your
flipped
own
and he
decision.
said, make your own decisions.
Well, Anthony Fauci flips every day and doesn't acknowledge it, so I find it fascinating that people are still booking him. We've shut you off. People, even if you wanted to listen to anything Anthony Fauci says, he contradicts himself in the next sentence or the next appearance. And I think he said a few. If you are unsettled, whatever, you have it or you have lingering COVID, wear your own mask. Let us make our own decisions. We're done with this. We're finished. We're through. Stop holding on to it. Better yet, you'll pay at the ballot box.
Or how
because
about-
the American people are done with this.
How about this? You're through with it. If she's not through with it or other Americans want to wear
Wear
their
your
mask,
mask.
wear it. Make your own decision.
It's a psychosis. And I feel like the most dangerous pre-existing condition you could have for the psychosis is if you had Trump derangement syndrome at one point, you're very likely to be deranged by the masks.
And let me just offer something that I don't think is in dispute. If Donald Trump had won re-election, the Democrats would be like, I'm not wearing a mask. They'll be saying Donald Trump's warp speed vaccine doesn't work because you got you have 2 boosters for Jen Psaki and she's double vaxxed and she got it again. They'd be saying Donald Trump's vaccine doesn't work.
You're exactly right.
It would be totally inverse. What we're saying is make your own decisions.
That's exactly right.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.
All right, guys. I did want to plug that in towards the end, with Fox News. Please subscribe to them. They're a phenomenal show there. Fox Nation, really, really good shows. I tune into them. I tune into them a lot, actually, on this show. Producer Eric, Alicia, all the people here that work on the show, on the podcast here. We love it. We really do. We really enjoy the work, the content, the material that Fox Nation puts out. A lot of great shows from Tucker Carlson, Hannity, Laura Ingraham, even McNanny, right? Kaylee Menachany. I can never pronounce her name. Terrible with Irish names. They got that I don't want to say funny, but they got that like Irish like mech. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's just me. My pronunciation skills are not always there. But yeah, I agree. Right? The fucking liberal view, right? Now all of a sudden they're on like the choo-choo train of the CDC Biden mask, express or something, right? We're like, I don't want to go somewhere where I'm going to get sick. Oh, God. These people are the most hypocritic type of idiots in the world. Like, all of these politicians, public figures about this mass shit, right? Hypocrites. Where were you 3 years ago when people were dying from flus? Where were you when, what they really should be worried? Hold on, folks. What they really should be talking about is more deadlier diseases such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes. But no, the most deadliest disease on the face of the planet, COVID-19, right? Every disease particle out there deadlier than COVID. You can go into a room filled with paint fumes and die from overexposure to paint fumes. Yeah, believe it or not. You can go into a room filled with asbestos, right? Usually in attics and other crawl spaces of your home. Yeah, you can die from that. You can die from ammonia, overexposure to ammonia. Yeah, you can die. All my little fact checkers, get on your computers and your tablets and your devices, right? Your smart devices at home and fact check me. Oh, is Michael really right? You can die from asbestos and ammonia overexposure to yeah, you can. Paint fumes, you breathe too much in it, you could die from it. It's chemicals. Since when, here's my analysis that, the people there at Fox, they bring up a good point. They just put in the last bit there that these big time wigs, with the Biden administration, Peppermint Patty, Jen Psaki, right? Nancy Fake Pelosi, or what I like to call her, Ice Cream Pelosi, right? They've been all double vaxxed, triple boosted. What are they up to, like the 7th or 8th booster now, producer Eric? Yeah, right? He's shaking his head. Yeah. They've been all double, tripled, quadrupled boosted, right? But they're still getting this miraculous COVID, right? Which I all think it's the common cold flu. I'm sure people there on social media will be fact checking me. They'll be putting in the COVID fucking bar, and you've been fact checked by an independent fact checker that lives in his mommy and daddy's basement somewhere in the rural world of America. That's what they do, folks. They sit in their basements and they fact check. They don't have anything else to do besides going on Google. See, that's what fact checking is, folks. They go on Google. They should just call it Google shit, right? Because they go on Google, they search something up about some type of topic or a discussion that somebody talked about on social media, and then they'll screenshot that. They'll put their little graphics in, and then they'll say, you've been misinforming the general public of America on social media. That's really what fact-checking is. It's their based opinion against yours. So they made it into a social media terminology. That's what really fact-checking is. If you really ever wanted to know what fact-checking is, that's what these people are doing, folks. These liberal idiots in America. They're going on a computer. They're going into a search engine like Google or Apple or any other search bar or browser for that reason, and they're searching for something, and they're finding like a little key thing in that search. Then they screenshot the actual article, and then they put in their little funny little graphics with the, the independent fact-checking name that they come up with, Joe Schmo, mommy's basement, whatever. I'm just using it for example. I'm laughing because it's all bullshit, to be honest with you. And that's what they do, folks. That's what they do. You want me to expose these idiots? I'm exposing them on the Patriot Angle podcast Unfiltered. Okay? So you ever want to know? That's what it is. But I applaud Fox Nation, folks. I applaud the people at Fox for doing this. These people are triple boosted, triple vax, but they're still getting COVID. Peppermint Patty, what was it, 2 weeks ago, just announced that she had COVID, right? Who else came out and had COVID? The second gentleman to Kamala Harris had COVID. Aren't these people vaccinated? Aren't these people in their third or fourth or fifth boosted shot, right? Isn't that stuff supposed to protect them? Folks, the shit doesn't work. Now the CDC, before I get there, let me tell you something here. This is all the aftermath of the left. They've been trying to get after Donald Trump for 4 years. They failed. Russia collusion failed. Mueller reports failed. This, that, the PP tape, that all failed, right? It all failed. So what are they doing now? All of this mask hysteria, this distraction, this tyranny that we're seeing, this and that, is all the comeback, so to speak, from the Democratic Party against the American people. This is what they want to do, folks. This is how they're getting back at us Americans. They're putting this all down our throats and everything else, and they're creating tyranny, the tyrants of the radical swamp in Washington, D.C. This is what they're doing. Now, as I close this out, I want to get into this article here, which you will find on the NewYorkTimes.com website. They just posted this. Hopefully, it's still on the website. When was this posted? Producer Eric, get the date, the time slot for that. Okay. April 13th. So it was posted just, 3 days ago on the New York Times. It's still on the New York Times because I'm looking at the article right now, that the CDC, folks, now wants to extend the mask mandate on planes and public transit. But big companies such as Delta, Southwest Airlines, American Airlines are all going after this crap, saying that please stop with the extension of the mask. The freaking people are starting to wake up in this country. They know that the masks do not work. First of all, folks, these blue surgical masks that everybody seems to be wearing seems to be thinking that they're going to stop particles of spit, saliva, or a cough. Folks, that is the most idiotic thing I have ever heard. If you look into the science is even wrong with COVID-19. If you look into the science, folks, you will clearly understand. I've said this on my show. I almost sound like I'm a broken record, but I'll explain it again. I love educating people because this is stuff that you won't see or hear from crooked CNN or any other fake, corrupted news network across America. The blue surgical mask, blue, black, green, whatever color they like to make them, right? They're the same shit. They were designed for droplets of blood splatter in the operation room. You can fact check me all you want, you little independent basement dwellers of your mommy and daddy's home. Go on the computer, look it up. It's there, plain and simple. I don't care how much the government tries to change the narratives. It's there, plain and simple. The blue surgical masks were designed for blood splatter for surgeons in the operating room. So when he's operating on somebody, doing a brain surgery, doing a heart transplant, whatever, blood will splatter, right? That way he's protecting himself from blood transmission, right? Make sense now? I hope so. Apparently it doesn't make sense to the liberal world of America because they still think that these blue surgical masks are the savior of the planet, which is stupid. So now the CDC now rolling out extensions that the mask mandate on planes and public transit. These companies are begging the CDC. I mean, who's really in charge here? Is it the CDC folks or the federal government of the administration of Joseph Biden? I mean, seriously, every time the CDC comes out with this new rule, this new they're suggestions. It's not a law, folks. The Biden administration is like literally right on board to jump along with this. Literally. Now, Despite the great pressure from airlines, the hospitality industry, and Republican lawmakers to lift the rule requiring masks on planes and other public transportation, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention extended the federal transportation mask requirements for 2 weeks on Wednesday, 5 days before it was set to expire, folks. Yeah. Are you here, folks? Are you hearing this? I hope so. The mask mandate now expires on May 3rd, 2022. That's like in a few weeks from now. If it's not extended again, I don't know, folks. Do you think that they would extend this past May 3rd? Sure. Guess what's right around the corner, folks? The midterms. Guess who is really in trouble right now? Joe Biden and the Democrats. They've been failing on every political angle since Joe Biden has taken the oath of office. They failed on COVID. They failed on borders. They failed on foreign policy. They failed on inflation. We still have record inflation, record this, record that. We're dealing with a conflict in Russia and Ukraine. The list goes on, folks. Now, Dr. Ashish K. Jutta, the new White House COVID response coordinator, said in an interview that the additional time will allow the CDC to access whether BA2, a subvariant of the coronavirus, is going to become a ripple or a wave in the United States. Oh, they're saying it's going to be a wave. Oh, my God. We do need a wave in this country, folks. But I'm telling you right now, the wave we need in this country is the red wave, the red conservative Republican MAGA Make America Great movement wave again in this country. We need to save this country from the tyrant. Excuse me, getting ahead of myself. I'm so excited because this crap is killing all of us. That's what we really need, folks. Really, really need. But they're saying that this new subvariant of coronavirus is going to be a ripple or a wave in the United States. I don't know. I mean, this is, it's a little neurotic, if you ask me. A little neurotic, folks. Seriously. When will this crap end? When will it end? I hope it ends soon, because I can't take this garbage. I cannot take the garbage. Hey, guys, if you're trying to look for a company to represent your business, your platform, your brand, your content, whatever the case may be, look over to the makers of Blip. What is Blip? Blip is a digital billboard service that promotes your business or your brand to thousands upon thousands of almost millions of people in the general area you decide to promote your business, whether it is in Los Angeles, Dallas, Texas, Tampa, Florida, Orlando, Florida, Miami, Florida, New York City, Chicago, Illinois, just to name a few. Blip is everywhere, folks. They have the new form of digital billboarding. Great, folks. It is also easy on the wallet. They have plans to fit your budget. They have the gold plan, the silver plan, and the premium plan. You can pay by the month or pay by the day according to your budget. Now, for instance, if you want to go with their monthly plan, they have just about the highest amount of perks in that plan. Or if you want to go to the monthly plan, or the daily plan, right, for that matter, you can choose that as well. Options are limitless on Blip billboards. Check them out today, guys. Hit the Google search, Blip billboards. They'll pop right up. Get your brand out there. Make your growth endless on Blip, guys. It is tremendous. We use them on the podcast. I can't say more than enough. Choose Blip. You're going to love it.
Michael Gardner, a host like no other, unfiltered.
All right, guys, we're back to the show. We're going to close it out here soon. We're talking about the aftermath of what is exactly going on, right? All of the crap that's coming out of this administration, all the leaks, the flaws, the failures. We're seeing failure after failure. Joe Biden now polling 32% on the polls. Yeah, but, you got crooked CNN telling everybody, oh, he's doing phenomenal. He's polling a 62. No. I just seen on CNN, they said that about 3 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden, like a few days afterwards, CNN reporting that Joe Biden is polling like a 43. Yeah, I believe the 43, right? The lowest poll of any sitting president in history. Seriously. Even CNN now, 3 weeks later, is now admitting the failures and flaws under Joe Biden. Now, with the CDC, we're going to close it out right here with this article that I was reading before we took a break, that now they're saying that if the infection numbers are relatively low, as they are right now, they're low. They're low, right? We don't see COVID scoreboards all over the fucking TV anymore. We don't see any of that shit. Because they can't manipulate the system. People are understanding. They're waking up. I've been saying from the get-go, 3 years ago, that this was a huge distraction to basically isolate every American into lockdown at first. They're still trying the lockdowns. It's terrible. Certain cities, my friends tell me up in New York that New York is basically the same as it was 2-3 years ago. Terrible. Now, they're saying that if the infection numbers are relatively low, which they are right now, then I think it's reasonable to remove the mask mandates. You should have got rid of them in the first place. And this is coming from the CDC itself. But in a statement announcing the extension of the divisive rule, the CDC said BA2 now makes up more than 85% of new U.S. virus cases. Folks, I want to see the fucking science behind this shit. We, the American people, demand, plain and simple, slap on it, right? We demand that we see these cases. We demand that we see the science data. We demand to see true scientific facts that are delivered to the American people, not words. Words can be politicized. We want facts, real videos, real evidence, real this, real that. That's my analysis of it. Now, in recent days, the new U.S. cases has started ticking up, apparently, supposedly. As of this Tuesday, the nation was reporting more than 31,000 new cases a day on average. Oh, okay. That 31,000? I want to see every fucking case. I want to see the people that have developed these cases. I want to see it. You, the listener, you, the nation of the unfiltered patriot nation here, right? You deserve to see it. You deserve to see it, right? We want to see solid evidence. None of this hammy around type of crap. And this was according to the New York Times database. Yeah, go figure. Probably the most corrupted freaking network broadcasting newspaper in America today. Now, this is coming out of Dr. Jahad himself of the CDC, saying it's not clear how severe the impact of these cases will be. noting that the BA2 has caused more hospitalizations and deaths in the United Kingdom than it has in Israel. Oh, you don't say. What's so different in Israel versus the United Kingdom? And these are supposedly the two countries where it appeared earlier than in the United States and where it spread widely. Oh, okay. Oh, just United Kingdom and Israel, huh? No other countries, no Middle Eastern countries, no Far East countries, no other countries like China or any. No, just United Kingdom and Israel, huh? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, relating to all of this, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the nation's largest business lobbying group, folks, and the American Hotel and Lodging Association, which represents, folks, thousands upon thousands of hotels. They sent a letter to the doctor himself, arguing that they want to see unnecessary measures were hurting the country economically. You damn shit, Skippy, we are, right? What the CDC is doing, folks, is killing our economy, bankrupting businesses, small and large. Amazon, just the other day, reported that the supply chain sector of their business cannot keep up economically with the CDC is pressuring into supply chains, such as Amazon. Walmart, another company, reporting that it is struggling economically because of hard pressures from the CDC. But the CDC putting out updates like they're putting out pancakes on a child's plate for breakfast came out with 2 new Omicron subvariants, right? Just miraculously, just came right out of this. Now, here is more flaws of the Biden administration. Like I said, folks, please, after this is all done, never vote in a mail-in order president, because that's what we're seeing from this president, a mail order president, right? Mail order, right? Where are you going with this, Michael? Mail order, right? That's what happened in 2020. Mail order ballots, right? You had to mail them in. There you go. Make that topic go viral on the internet. I don't care. Now, the Biden administration extends the national COVID public health emergency for another 90 days. They just rolled that out. That just came out this past Tuesday. New Zealand. Oh, here's all the updates. I'll give them. I'll give you all the updates. Thank you, producer Eric, giving these updates right on top of this today. Thank you very much, buddy. That the New Zealand welcomes vaccinated tourists from Austria and relaxes more policies. They're relaxing more policies. Oh, so if you're not vaccinated in New Zealand and you're a tourist that's not vaccinated, where do you go? Do they have like isolation camps that the United States is probably most likely going to set up too? Or if not, they already have them and we just don't know about them yet? The CDC saying that the world surpasses 500 million known coronavirus cases among concerns about testing. 500 million, huh? 500 million of the population already had confirmed cases. Oh, rather interesting. So half of these billion of the world's population, right, had confirmed cases. I'm really interested too if they had developed in 3 years this 500 million of the Earth's population, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, other world-known diseases and viruses? Can we pull that up in the data, the medical data there, CDC? WHO, World Health Organization, can you pull that up on the data? Because we would love to see that. We would love to see if half those billion of the Earth's population so far, with the confirmed cases, had suffered anything in the mix of all of that. I'd love to see it. The listeners of the Patriot Angle podcast, the followers of Unfiltered Patriot Nation here, we would love to see that data. Love to see it. Please share it on the CDC, share it on the WHO. Love it. We would love to see it, because I don't think that half the shit that the CDC or the Biden administration is reporting on is completely accurate. And I've been calling this since day one of this crap. 3 years ago, check it out. I said it on my podcast 3 years ago, just about 3 years ago, that this is all a hoax, political jonder. The last update coming out, that China's COVID-0 policy prompts fears of a devastating Mayo-style political campaign. Yeah. Same stuff that happened when he was in charge. Folks, that last bit that I just read, that's in relevance to when he was in charge. Mao style, right? When he ran the socialist agenda under China. When China was in the early phases of socialism. Socialism is communism's ugly cousin, folks. First, you go through socialism, which this country, the United States, we're already past socialism. We're right now in the early stages of communism. We're going through the same shit that China, Venezuela, Cuba, all these other countries before us went through the same scenario, folks. The same crap. The same everything. Folks, it ends when we speak up. It ends when we voice our thoughts. It ends when we say enough is enough. You want your freedoms back? You want your liberties back? You want all that back? We need to stand up as a nation, as a united nation, and say, end the tyranny now and forever. And that's when you will get back the United States of America. Thank you very much, folks. Remember to like our stream. Remember to follow us. And we'll see you on the next one.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle podcast. Remember to follow us on Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon Music, and Audible. Also streaming live on Twitch. Remember to follow and like us, guys, for unfiltered, uncensored, raw content. Also, please head over to www.patriotanglepodcast.com for all your exclusive Patriot Angle podcast content and material, as well as the merchandise website, www.patriotunfiltered.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.